Good evening, beautiful people. It's another beautiful Monday evening. And listen, have you guys realized that we're already about to end the year? Like we're in November, guys. The dreams, the things you wanted to do, I hope you have achieved them, okay? Well, I hope, okay? If you haven't, it's fine. Just move on to 2025. You and I will continue over there because lots of us haven't been able to achieve a lot of things because this year went very fast. It's not our fault, it's their fault. Well, you're welcome to the best evening talk show in the country, The Dish. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah, your host. We are coming to you live from MX24 Studios, Oleander Street, East Legon, Accra. Now, you're welcome to the show. Now, this season is already buzzing with exciting debates, engaging discussions and empowering insights and women's issues. Like we're really focused on women issues and global development because we pose a very big influence on these things, okay? Join us as we continue to amplify women's voices, challenge the status quo and spark meaningful change with progressive women. The tagline is progressive women, okay? Progressive women. That's what we're doing this year. We're doing better than we could ever do, all right? So please stay with us right here on The Dish. I want to say big thank you to DecoZone for this beautiful set. They always come through for us and give us a wonderful set to have this show. So big thank you to them. If you want to reach them, please jump onto their social media platforms. It's DecoZone GH. Send them a DM and they're active to respond to you and, of course, give you what you need. You can also go to the experience shop in East Legon. Just put in the Google map, DecoZone GH, and you would find them. With big thank you to Betway Cowbell Coffee, Flora Tissues, Tango Washing Powder, Telecel, Club Shandy, and LPG. Now, I want to tell to you about something we all want, and that is success. Everybody wants it. Everybody dreams of it. We all aspire to succeed and make a mark in life. We push ourselves to excel in different, of course, enduring challenges along the way just to be successful. Charlie, when work gets tough, and I bet, I'm telling you, it gets even tougher than you think, okay? You need that extra boost to keep you pushing forward. And on those days where you need someone to be there for you, Cowbell Coffee will be by your side. It's a rich, creamy 3-in-1 blend with a great taste and aroma that will kickstart your day. So whether you're just working or just creating amazing memories with friends and loved ones, Cowbell Coffee will be there with you every single moment. So no matter where you're at, as you chase after those goals, and women, as you're chasing after those goals, keep Cowbell Coffee close to stay motivated and going. Remember, Cowbell Coffee is with you every single moment. Now, let me remind you that this is an interactive show. I am doing this with you. So send in your comments and reactions and, of course, your opinions on all our social media platforms. It's MX24GH on all social media platforms. The hashtag is #TheDishOnMX. Now, today, the conversation is big. If I had the time, which my producers wouldn't give me the time to do that, I'll tell you the struggles we've gone through just trying to have this conversation. I tell you what, as a Jesus baby and as a spiritual person, I believe that because the conversation is going to have such a huge impact, we had the lapses that we had. But we're here today to have the conversation. We have the right guests for it, and we're about to kick off the conversation today. Our topic for today is building healthy boundaries. Building healthy boundaries, not walls. I know you and I could not make the difference. We could not. Now I have the light now. I don't know if you do, but if you do not understand the difference between boundaries and walls, let's get into that conversation. Now, as we are frequently conditioned to put others first, often at the expense of our own well-being, societal norms encourage us to prioritize others' needs, fostering a culture of self-sacrifice in our relationships, careers, and personal lives, while nurturing and accommodating qualities and valuable assets. They can also lead to emotional burnout, resentment, and erosion of our sense of self. But what happens when we mistake people pleasing for selfishness and compromise for strength? At what point do we learn to say no? And listen, it's a big thing, guys. People do not know how to say no without feeling guilty, without setting limits. I mean, guys, set limits without apology, prioritize our own desires without shame. Building healthy boundaries is not about constructing walls to keep others out. It's about cultivating self-awareness and self-respect. And of course, self-care. It's about recognizing that our worth isn't measured by our availability or willingness to surrender our needs. Did you get that? Yeah. I know you got it. Joining us for the conversation, Kukua Eshun. She is a beautiful filmmaker. I absolutely love her, but you will love her more after the show, okay? And of course, also joining us, I'm not doing this with Kukua alone. I have Evelyn, Naana, Kwartemaa, Asante, a gospel minister and a presenter. She's an on-air personality like myself and a wonderful musician. Sometimes I want to ask her, how does it feel to be God's favorite child? Because you can sing, you can present, you're beautiful, you have nice hair. Because it's not everybody who can keep short hair. I'm like, yo.
You should ask Kukua the same, because like, she's got...
No, Kukua.
Hers is over and
God's
beyond.
last baby. God's last baby, because how? When we're talking about the most, like 5 most wonderful young filmmakers in the world,
yes.
Kukua is the top 5.
Yeah, she is.
And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, let me take my microphone. How do you guys feel being God's favorite children?
It's a beautiful thing, I would say.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Or don't you think?
It is.
It is.
Fantastic. I love it over here. I love it.
But also remember that when God gives you much, much is expected of you.
Absolutely.
And there's always a reason why He fills you with all of these things within your life, because you have to meet so many people and influence them.
Girl.
Yeah.
I saw, I think it was Nadia who posted a video of God making her the strongest soldier. You know how they say God gives his battles to the strongest soldier.
Yes,
It's like, when did I sign up for this war again?
Yeah.
When did I enroll?
When did I tell you I'm this strong?
I know, I don't want to
need
be
to
on this
enroll in
list.
this military academy, God, why? But I always say that the conversations we have, and I know it's almost sounding cliche, but it's true. The conversations we have behind the scenes before show starts, I bet you we should be putting them on camera, because they are intense. And I feel like we don't even have enough time to exhaust everything that we have. But today we're going to try our best to do that right here on the show. The conversation is building boundaries, not walls. Building very healthy boundaries, not walls. And for us, let's just put it this way. When it comes to defining what boundaries are, anybody want to take that for me? And also, okay, so I'm going to share it between you. One will give me what boundaries are and what walls are. So, in the name of Jesus, you.
So, to me, from what I know about boundaries, is it has a lot to do with identity. I feel like the foundation of having healthy boundaries, even with yourself, right, and with other people, is who are you? What is your true identity? Like, what carries you as, this person, right? So when I think about boundaries, I think about the fact that in this world, in all the relationships we have with ourselves, right, there's things that we must have for those relationships to progress, right? Integrity is, you can't have boundaries without integrity. Without discipline, without consistency, and also the right agenda. To me, it's key. Without the right agenda, your boundaries are not it's gonna be walls.
That's right.
Because it's not gonna be in the positive way that you want. So you see a lot of people say, oh, I just keep pouring into this person, I keep pouring into this friendship, into this relationship, but I get nothing back but do you have the right agenda behind what you're pouring, right? So boundaries has a lot to do with identity. Most people who have not gone on a self-discovery journey to know who they are and know themselves cannot even have
Oh my God, it's amazing how you define that, and it's so personalized. Like, it's this easy.
Yeah.
If you don't know yourself, you cannot.
You can't even have boundaries.
How are you saying you have boundaries when you don't know who you are?
Absolutely.
So that brings us to what walls. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what walls look like, so that for us who have built walls,
start to break them down.
Start
breaking them down. I mean, when I think of walls, it's like you're putting up a structure that is not allowing people in. And so you're blocking everything out, and now you are more like on your own and doing things just your way. And that is not healthy. Now, when we speak of boundaries I see as she's explained, I just want to add on, boundaries will be like you're drawing lines to explain to people who you are, what you can accept, what you can't accept, and how far you will go. And this gives them a sort of understanding on how to relate with you better. Because sometimes you will lose yourself when you just want to open up to everybody.
Right.
And or accept what everybody says.
Right.
So it's more like you're declaring yourself and stating who you are, as you said, your identity. But then you're also drawing the lines around, this is what I can do, this is what we can do, this is where we can go, this is where we cannot go. So it's not a wall. It's just me revealing myself to you in a way that you can relate with me better and not just assume that I'm up for everything. Yeah.
Access.
Access. Absolutely.
Powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
You people have no idea. I hope you have your pen and your paper with you.
Take
and
your
your
notes.
writing. I think that I'll briefly say this, then we move on to other things, because I usually don't have an opinion on anything here. But today I do.
Please do.
unfortunately.
Please do.
I want to hear.
When it comes, and I'll do the difference between boundaries and walls, and I'm going to pick a few things from you both.
Sure.
Again, I totally agree with you when you say that boundaries is like knowing me and knowing what I can take, and I'm doing it gracefully because I'm not shouting at you, I'm not shutting you out, but I'm saying that. So let me explain this. Boundaries to me is like, I know that you want to sound loud, and I know you want to be disrespectful, but I'm not going to be in this seat listening to your disrespect. So when you sound like this, I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's boundaries for me.
Yes.
Right.
Does it sound good?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, in a nutshell, boundaries are, you're going to be disrespectful. You're going to do the things that I don't like. You're going to hurt my feelings. You're going to cross me twice. Like you go, like, I'm telling you, don't do that. And you go and you come back again.
You do it anyway.
But whilst you're doing that, you're going to be you. I'm not going to stop you from being you.
But I'll remove access.
But I'll remove
That's what it is.
access. I'll remove access.
Access denied.
Access denied.
Yep.
So that you can figure that your character out. You can figure that thing you want
So
to
the
do out.
next time when you learn that I'm not going to take this,
I'm not going to be
you
here
will
to
not
take it.
relate to me like that anymore.
Now, some people also would interpret boundaries as, and again, we're trying to kill the misconception of what boundaries looks like.
Yes.
Over here, when you create boundaries, some people think, oh, we're trying to hold on to it.
No.
Not day. And so people have over time dropped the boundaries. And there was a conversation I was having with my very good friend, and she was saying that because that's almost a measure when I'm saying, but the way I would tell no plan. No, see me, I'm saying, oh, problem they saying.
Right.
You know, see, because a lot of people cannot relate to me, I'm now struggling to enjoy my boundaries. I'm like, that even is a wall.
Right.
You know, it's because they didn't know that from the beginning.
Yeah.
When you don't present that from the beginning,
Right.
and now you are finding out, okay, I think I need to set boundaries. It becomes difficult for people to accept
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So that is the initial problem. That people do not know that, oh, at first you didn't have boundaries. How all of a sudden you have boundaries? So that's the problem. But it's okay if you are now figuring out that you need to set boundaries. Over time, they'll get to accept it because it's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I
it's
love that
fine.
you, please.
I was just going to say that. I've also noticed that it's the people who are meant to be in your life who will set that boundary and walk with you. Not everyone is meant to be in your life. So sometimes we have boundaries with people and they can't accept it, they can't respect it, they can't even see us. Because for people to accept your boundaries, they have to see you, the real you, the true you.
Yes.
They have to understand that, oh, this is from a good place. It's from a good heart posture, a good agenda.
Yes.
So if people can't even tell or see that it's coming from a good place, they're gonna misunderstand it. That's not your people.
That's right.
My people will respect me.
That's right.
I was listening to Apostle Joseph Selman the other day,
I
and he
love
was
him.
saying that God will not bless the fake you. So it's still in the identity conversation.
Yes.
The
Identity
you that
crisis.
God didn't create, He's not going to bless that.
Absolutely.
He's going to bless the person that He originally wants you to be. So is this your people pleasing? It's not in God's plan.
Yeah.
A better
Okay,
end
okay.
here.
So I want to show up in a certain way that everybody will like me. Oh, everybody's, oh, Mimi, she's a kind person. Oh, she's nice. Oh, she doesn't. Oh, she doesn't yell at people. Oh, she's cool.
Right.
And that makes you very acceptable. That's not who God wants to bless.
No.
God wants to bless the wholesome you, the one that is totally flawed, the one that understands that I am not all of this, but I'm going to show up for myself in a way that I'm happy so that I can accommodate other people. That is, again, boundaries for me.
Yeah.
How do you
Absolutely.
set limits without feeling apologetic about, like, okay, I don't want anybody thinking that, like, you know, as my friend was saying, like, I say, hey, don't do this to me. Like, I say, I'm doing too much, so I don't want people to talk to me like that. So please, I'm like being apologetic about your limits. How do we set limits and not be apologetic about it?
Well, I would say, first of all, get to understand that you're not the only one who has boundaries. If you don't have, somebody has.
And they're going to set it for you.
Yes, and they're going to set it for you. And you are probably walking around or living your life around boundaries people have set.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't have yours.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
first of all, don't feel bad because others have theirs. Just the fact that you don't have yours doesn't mean others don't have it.
Yeah.
Right.
So get to know that and begin to set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
Because in trying to please people, you begin to lose yourself.
Absolutely.
You get to a point where you don't even know who you are anymore.
Right.
And then people start to define you.
Right.
And that's why it's so much of a shock to them when you come to your senses and say, hey, no, not
more.
anymore.
Right.
Because they're like, but we know you like this. And you are saying, no, this is my new address.
Yeah.
Right.
And so address me this way.
Address me this way.
Address me this way. You're going to call me by this, or you're going to talk to me
yes,
this
yes,
way.
yes.
And it's a shock to them. So first of all, you need to know that others have boundaries. If you don't have, others do. Recognize that. And because of that, find boundaries for yourself. And because it's connected to your identity, like Kukua said, you have to first of all know who you are. And immediately you find out that you have let yourself go and you've just opened up to accommodate everything. You know that you've done that out of also timidity. Because when you set boundaries, you've come to a boldness.
I like that. That's what it is.
That's because
It's
for
a
me,
confidence.
I wasn't always confident, and I mean, backstage, I was telling you a story of how, what really clicked when an ex-boyfriend had to click that within me because everything that he said to me, I was like, okay, what would you eat? I'm like, oh, whatever you eat, my friend. I love you. Where do you want to go? I said, sweetheart,
Where you going?
wherever you want to
Where you
go.
wanna go?
I mean,
to hell
that
today 'cause I'm
was
gonna go
my
with
first
you.
love. It's like I don't have any sense of anything I want because I'm in love.
Yeah.
And that was so wrong.
Right. Absolutely.
And immediately it clicked. One time, I was telling you, a friend of his said something to me that was so upset. I was like, won't you tell her that's wrong? He's like, tell her yourself. I'm like, oh, it's like, you can't, right? Your weak self. He told me, I'm like, my weak self? You're
But I'm not weak.
I'm not weak.
I know it.
And I'm like, what is telling this guy that I'm weak?
Yeah.
Right.
And I started to just think through my journey with him. It's like, Naana, you've never had a say in anything. He's asked you, do you want to do this? Oh, sure, whatever you want. You can't live like that.
Right. Right.
You can't live with whatever you want to do. Let's go. Have a plan for your life. I want to achieve this. I want to do this. This is my favorite things I love to do. It forms an identity for yourself.
Yeah.
And some people can identify you with that particular thing.
Yeah.
You know how somebody walks in the room and they are not themselves and you can tell they are not themselves because you know who the person is.
Right. Right.
That's what it is. It forms an identity for you.
Yeah.
So it's very necessary to set that boundary, no matter
that's
what.
beautiful.
Right?
No, I know that.
No matter what.
I was just gonna add a little bit to what Naana just said, in the sense of you are gonna offend people when you set boundaries.
Yes.
That's not.
We need
You
to hear that,
cannot.
please.
Let's sip on it. Let's sip on that one.
Some cowboy coffee will help reduce that stress that just choked me. You are definitely going to offend people.
You are gonna offend people when you set boundaries. There's nothing you can do about
and it's
that.
okay.
It's okay.
And that's okay. But your people, but that's the thing, even if your people get offended, if my friends, my family members who are like my people, when I say my people, I mean people who have decided. But that's the thing though, choose people that choose you.
I love that.
Choose people that choose
It's
you.
a decision.
Because a lot
And
of
there's also some level
it's
of
a
boundaries
choice.
though.
Yeah.
That's the thing
Yeah,
though.
because you're not going to be, I'm in my boundaries, I'm not going to allow people in my space that I don't see show up for me the way I will show up for them.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing that.
There's something that Naana said. To have boundaries in the first place, you need a deeply rooted confidence.
Yep.
People who are insecure, and unfortunately most people are,
Yep.
they cannot have boundaries.
Yes.
Because it's always about what somebody
Someone
else
else
wants.
wants.
It's always about people pleasing is a form of insecurity.
Oh,
It
boy.
Why are
is.
you people
No,
pleasing?
it is.
You
tell
don't know
you.
yourself.
Yeah.
You want, you know what I'm saying? You want validation from other people.
Validation.
You're looking for, you're looking for, I don't know, you're looking for other people's approval.
Approval.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So to even set boundaries, you need to be confident in yourself as a person.
Now we've done a lot, and we're going to go even deeper in the conversation of boundaries. Because for me, the whole idea of this conversation is for people to learn to build healthy boundaries, right? Now let's go back to what the walls potentially could do to you as a person. When you have erected walls as an individual, you're showing up disrespectful, you're showing up drawing lines that you have no business drawing. Breaking people.
If it's just a line cry, you're okay. You're busy raising structures.
Raising structures that in return, in my opinion, based on what I've been taught about walls, will hinder your progress.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the walls and what they're able to do to you. Nana, let's go with Nana first.
Okay.
And really, when you're doing that, explain to us, right,
Yes.
what they look like when you have set walls.
So I was just gonna give a scenario. Like there are people in life that God puts in your path for a reason. One, in setting boundaries, know that you don't know it all.
Right.
Now, when we talk about boldness, people think of, oh, okay, I know everything.
It all. I've read all
I
the
can do
books.
everything.
Yeah.
No.
Can't.
Know that you don't know it all, because there are people that God brings along your way that are to teach you. Even if they are teaching you and it's not pleasant or it doesn't feel good, it's helping you build your life. And you don't drive those people away.
Yeah.
There are people who have walked your path that God is bringing in your way so that you don't have to make those same mistakes.
That one.
You don't build walls for these people. And sometimes we build walls around these people because we think that what you're saying is hurting us.
Yeah.
Or we can see like, no, I don't like what you're telling me.
I don't like it. I don't like the sound of that.
Yes.
Feel good.
But it's not always going to feel good. As much as we are saying like there are people who are going to hurt you and you need to keep those people out, there are people that will be saying certain things to you. You need to listen to those things.
Right.
Because those things will align you to your purpose.
Right.
There are people that have gone into a room and I've entered, I'm like, no, I need to make this person my friend. I cannot leave this place without getting this contact. Because everything this person is saying, it aligns with my life, and the person has overcome this, and I need to know how the person overcame that. I can't build a wall with that person.
No.
It can't be.
Is there a way that it's possible that the people that we look up to, the people that we call mentors, or people who have actually even walked paths that we want to walk, are wrong to entertain into our space, and hence you need to build boundaries with them, and it might look like a wall to someone? Because for me, when I look at Anita Erskine, I'm like, oh, that's a senior. Like, you know, I need to be around this woman. I need to learn from her. When I look at Anaba, I'm like, oh yeah, they've done all of this. I want to be around them. Is there a possibility that they could be wrong for your journey?
Well, not wrong. And when I say these are people that you need to learn from, you talk about mentors. There are people who have mentors that they are not mentors that sit with them
Right.
and talk to
From
them
afar.
daily.
Right. Right.
There are times that you can recognize exactly what you want to learn from this person that you can learn from afar.
Right.
And there are those that you know in your journey you need to walk with them.
Yep.
So you just need to recognize. And again, this is still, you know, in this like journey, we've not arrived, and most likely you will
You're
not
not gonna
arrive
Right
until
before
you
you leave. Yeah.
And you need to accept that. You need to accept that, because there are people that I know that I feel like I really, you know, in their journey, or if I read about them or if I see them on TV, I know that this person's story is aligned to mine. But from hearing from them, from reading what they've written, I can repurpose my life and not go through exactly what they went through. But there are people that are in my immediate space. Like, I met Kukua, I'm like, now this girl is a friend. She has to stay a friend. I am not going to build a wall around her. Yes.
And she's a friend.
Yes.
No.
I'm not gonna build a
people
wall.
who fits the category of friendship.
Yes.
And there are friends who have multiple, like you can fit them in anybody's life, and they're friends. Kukua is one of them.
Yes.
She'll fit into any friendship
I tell you.
hole you put her.
I tell you.
I just wanted to say that, but don't come and steal my friend. Go and find your own friends. Just don't come and steal my
Yes,
friend.
but it's, you know, this thing we're saying is not just that easy. You need to sit and have some retrospection of your life and think through what you need in your life and what you don't need.
That
Like
part.
you think about garbage in, garbage out. There's some friends I've had to let them go.
Yeah.
Because some people come in your life, it's actually for moments. They are
You
not
need to let
supposed
them
to
go.
stay.
A
But we let
season.
them stay and linger on for so long.
And drain us.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
allow.
I think you can chip in from this point because I know she knows a lot about it. And certain people just come to you because they know you've reached this far.
Oh, absolutely. Most people.
That's why I'm like,
Most
Kukua
people.
can come in because
people do.
can target you and know. You know, at first I was in Kukua's circle, but now it's the
most
right,
people. Oh,
it's the right
absolutely.
time.
And they'll say the right things.
Yes.
They can say the right things and do all the right
And
things.
all do the right things. And you'll be wondering, oh, what was this part of you?
Yeah.
And these are also, this can possibly be some people, and the way I'm talking, someone, hey, I don't experience, me experience.
We all do. We all do. We all do.
Like, oh, where was this part of you when I needed you then?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, my mom taught me something. She said, it's okay if they show up right when you have gotten it right.
Mm-hmm.
People can't even show up right until they get it right.
Yep.
And I feel like we all need to know that, right?
Yes.
This
Ladies.
journey of becoming.
Oh. Ladies, listen, I am enjoying the conversation in the studio. My guests are absolutely amazing. The struggle we went through to get these ladies in the studio has all been worth it. And for you out there, the purpose is for you to grab nuggets of wisdoms that can guide you. Because, listen, I've always told you that we're growing together on this show. So let's grow together. We are all learning. We are all becoming. And so please do not miss any episode of The Dish this season. Well, we're going for a quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation continues right here on MX24. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to The Dish right here on MX24. Like I said, listen, I want to keep shocking your heart. Keep shocking you. That's we are in November, okay? You go, we are in November, right? We are in November. Like we're about to end the year, wow. But I hope that you get it, like you have that feeling. And I'm doing this because I want us all to come to a place where when we set goals, we should be intentional about making it happen. And that also ropes us into the conversation today, building boundaries. You know that you wanted to do this, but when they said you should go to the party, and at 8 o'clock you needed to sleep to make that goal happen, you went to the party. You ended that relationship because for you, it didn't matter. But then you see, the boundary wasn't healthy. It was a wall. And so now, instead of benefiting from that relationship, you wasted your time, you wasted their time, and then you didn't get anything from it. All of this built a wrong structure for you to become a better version of yourself. So stay right here with us on the show as we delve into the conversation, building boundaries, not walls, okay? And I have my beautiful guests in the studio. They are not just beautiful. They are beauty with brains, la. I had to add that la because in this my generation, you don't get a lot of beautiful women knowing that they have more than just beauty. But I'm glad that I have these women who understand who they truly are. Now we're talking about the walls.
Yes.
That's right.
And I want you to finally touch on what walls look like and how we could diagnose walls and break them down.
So this is going to be heavy, but building walls comes from pride. It's nothing but pride. It is nothing but self, right? It's pride. It's backed by so much pride, right? Because if I have walls, then nobody can come close enough to hurt me or teach me. If no one can come close enough, then people won't be able to hurt you, but people won't be able to teach you, to impact you, to influence you.
That's right.
I've gotten this far, of course, by God's grace and God's mercy, but God works through people. I've gotten this far because God worked through mentorship. I needed to allow people to come close to see my broken pieces to help me. So anybody that builds walls consistently, it's from a place of pride because you think you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, I'm going to be the captain of my life. I don't need anyone, and I need to make sure that I'm protecting self.
That's right.
Now, if you say I'm protecting self, we don't realize it, then what's God's job?
Yeah. Yeah. You said you trust God so much, but how is it that you are doing the protecting of yourself by yourself?
You can't protect yourself. You literally can be dead in 2 seconds. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't even tell me what's going to happen in your life in the next 2 seconds. How are you protecting yourself? You know what I'm saying, no? So for me, every time I find myself building walls, then I'm like, oof, Lord help me. I know there's pride. There's pride in this conversation. There's pride in this in this season of my life or in this moment. help me to just break it down so that you can come in.
Yeah.
So building walls is about pride. Most people don't realize it. And pride comes from insecurity.
That's right.
Did you see how my face dropped? Yeah, because a lot of people will think
too.
that pride comes from a place of confidence.
It comes from insecurity.
But it comes from insecurity.
It comes from
You heard it here first.
total insecurity.
Kukua said so. And you check,
comes
do
from
your
insecurity.
findings. You realize that actually it's true.
Of course.
Because for you, it's you wanting to do the work instead of learning and unlearning and relearning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, when you have done all of this work on yourself, and I was going to text someone today that I'm working on myself. So you are not helping this journey. So I'm going to drop you for now at East Legon Junction, and then I'll work my way through what I want to do.
I love how you know where you're dropping the person, so you can come back and get it.
So if I come back to East
In
Legon
case,
Junction,
just in case.
and
you
you're
need
there,
it.
we can
Somebody-
continue. But if not, I'm glad that you
Goodbye.
came into my life.
Yeah.
And I love you regardless, and know that I'm the person you're going to be counting on if ever you needed anything.
Right.
And guess what? They texted me back with an errand. I'm like, you're just rude.
With an LOL.
with an errand. Like, okay, if you were going to be there for me to do everything, can you help me do this? I'm like, you are just wrong for me, don't you know? You are so wrong for
Like
me.
sending you on an errand.
I'm like, oh my God, you are so wrong for me.
That's so
I don't know how I
funny.
landed you, but unfortunately for me, I made a bad decision. How are we able to communicate? So clearly, it looks
Of
like I
all
did-
the things I said, this is your
Literally.
response.
It's like, hey, can you do this for
Can
me?
you do this for me? Because she said you're
I
going to
heard
be
you,
there.
but
Really
all right,
quickly. Before you cut
Before
me
you, like,
off, okay?
You know, can you just do this so that we can move on?
That's
But
so funny.
how are we able to communicate our boundaries effectively without having to be proud and offensive? And even though, let me tell you this, being offensive, you can't control it. Because,
You can't control
you
it.
can't control it.
Because I feel like often the times offense doesn't always come from what the person is actually saying. It's like
How the person is receiving it.
Exactly.
It's
Most
also
of the
part.
things that we're hearing, we're receiving it from the lens of our own insecurities, our own hurts,
It's always a filter.
childhood traumas. I mean, all kinds of things.
Filter,
You know what I'm saying?
filter,
So, well, it's going through a filter of my life. So you must be saying something so loving, so kind. And again, I know this because I've been through, I've been under mentorship.
Yeah.
And they're saying the right things to me for my life. I need to make those decisions, but I'm hearing it from a place of so much hurt. So consistently, I was like, you're offending me. You're offending me. I can't hear you. I can't learn from you because you're offending me. But I had to get over that really quickly.
Yeah.
So in the question of how do we say things in a way that doesn't sound offensive to the other people, I think we must be intentional for sure.
That's right.
We must be intentional in the way that we communicate, in the way that we express things, and we must also have integrity. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't have integrity. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't
It's
have
so true.
integrity.
It's so true.
Integrity, I feel like if I know that you're a person of integrity, does not, I'll be offended, yes, but in 5 minutes, I remember that this is a person of integrity.
Yeah.
Guy.
Are you a good person? Yes. Is this person kind? Do they want my best interest? If I can check these boxes about you, I can forgive the offense because you have integrity.
Kukua, who sent you here? Who? I didn't make that call. And this is a personal experience. And I want to say this, and I'm going to send this episode to that friend of mine, and I'm going to let them know that I see what they did. So I had my friend, so I ran a PR project for a friend of mine, and he always said that I'm going to let you run it for me. You're my person.
Right.
And every time we run the project, when we have bookings from just the advertisement that we've run, the payments come through me, and I forward it to them. I don't take a penny. I just send it to them. So what they feel I deserve, and because we've had a contract that pays me monthly. So they think, oh, meaning because of what you just did, just take this cut from it. They send it to me.
Right.
Now he sent me to pick up a payment, and the payment came to me, and I was so busy, I didn't check the money, and I put it in my compartment in the car, and I just drove off. And I should have counted in front of the person and checked if it was up to. Then they told me, oh, take 100 of this, 1% of this, and pay for something. And so I did. I still didn't check the money, what was left. So now the day I was supposed to send the money to them, it was short $200.
Ooh.
Yes. And I was like, what? 200, and I counted the money. I was like, I'm going to call the person I picked the money from, like, oh, there's a problem, but this is about after 3 days.
Ooh.
What am I going to do? So I
Right.
called the guy and I was like, you know what? I know this is going to sound really silly. I should have done this in front of you, but I think that the $200 short the money you gave to me.
Right.
He was like, oh my God, I'm not in Ghana, but I counted it. I'm sure it was It was the exact money. I'm like, yeah, if you think you gave me the exact money, it's cool. I'm going to sort it out with my people. Then I called my friend. I said, yo, bro, the money, I know count I'm in front of the person. And you know, I have to send this money back to you, but it's short $200. He's like, yeah, for what? $200? It's fine. Send it over to me. Let's find a way to send the money to you. And to me, I'm like just like that. He's like, yeah, Mimi, this is not the first time you're sending me money. This is not the first time our money, we have had bigger money in your possession. And we haven't lost. Even if you took this one, if you deserve it.
So
because
this is your track record. That's the integrity.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's based on integrity. He cannot even think that you can take his money because based on his track record with you, you're a person of integrity.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
People don't know how valuable this skill is.
Exactly.
But let's get back into it. We deviated a little bit.
People don't even know how valuable building a good character is.
Yes, yeah.
Character over everything. Character over
Absolutely.
gifting, especially. Because people who are gifted, most of the time mix character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they think, I know how to sing, I know how to act, I know how to, like, everything I know how to do is making me popular.
Even people who are good looking.
Yes, oh, I look good. And so when you meet people and they really get to know the real you and they're like, oh no. Like, something is wrong. It's just character.
Absolutely.
It's just character. Like something is wrong. And integrity builds a strong character. And so that's one thing that people need to learn.
People don't want to do the work
No.
because it takes so much to build your character
It does.
in this generation that we're in.
Yeah.
Trust me, everything around you is pushing you to do the opposite.
Yeah.
What will make you want to be a person of integrity in this generation? What makes you want to be humble, tell the truth, be patient, be graceful, be tender, be kind? There's not a lot of things around you that's going to like push you into that, right? It's a deep-rooted decision that you must make with God.
Yeah.
He said, God, I love you, so I want to become like you.
Now, in the process of building boundaries, not walls, building boundaries, someone said, I don't know which of you said that, you're going to be seen as offensive.
You're going to offend people.
You're going to offend people. That was the word.
You're
going to offend people. But how do you fight the fear of rejection whilst building your boundaries? Healthy boundaries.
I think I would just say what Kukua said. Your people will not treat you that way. And when she said your people, she meant like people that God has intentionally placed in your way. They won't drive you away.
Absolutely.
And so for me, any form of rejection tells me you ain't meant to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
So then I don't fear the consequences. Some people, after they've rejected you, will later find out, oh, they didn't do the right thing. And may want to come back.
Yeah.
Because they've realized they didn't make the right decision, which is fine.
Yeah.
But one thing I also want to say is, as we're talking about setting boundaries and the fear of rejection, even within our own homes, we've experienced these things.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you may be the only sibling that is probably doing something right, that is making the parents like you.
Right.
And other siblings don't like you.
Right.
Because the parents love how you've brought up yourself, you're doing well. But they don't realize that you've done a work in yourself and brought yourself to this place. That's why.
Absolutely. It's always about the work.
That's
it's the work
why
no one sees.
Yes. That's why
what
you are at
we're
this
supposed to.
point. And so what they are doing is they don't want to relate with you. They're rejecting you for something that they didn't.
No, this is really deep.
And I'm saying this because I was telling Kukua the other day that I speak to young university students and I see a lot of them want to be something or someone else. And even within their homes, they are not received or they don't like who they are because they are not loved and they are not received in their homes. So they are always projecting to be something else. And when you continue to, receive that rejection, you may want to change. But if you don't start to love yourself, people are always going to project things on you when it's not even your fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I cannot blame myself for how I look.
Right.
First of all, I cannot blame myself. There are some things you can't blame yourself for. If you don't come from a rich background, you can't blame yourself for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. Same way you can't blame yourself for being rich. So if somebody is despising you just because you have enough, or you can take care of yourself, that's not your fault.
Right.
And don't fight it.
Don't fight
Yeah.
it. So I'm just saying, like, recognize who you are and how far you've come and the work you've done. And don't trade that for anything. Don't trade that for anything.
Yeah. Really quickly,
Yeah.
she said something that I want to add something little to. The point of most people will reject you because they need to become a certain version to be with you.
To be with you, yeah.
Whether in friendship, whether in relationship, or life, even business.
Yeah.
Most people will reject you because they
Yes.
need to be a certain type of person. If you're a person of integrity, you're disciplined, you're
Yeah.
kind, you have character,
Yeah.
you have all these, the fruits of the spirit, right? Most people cannot be in the same space with you or do business with you or be friends with you because it requires them to come up higher.
Yeah.
And that coming up higher it's painful. That means it requires them to kill the old self to become something new they're not used to.
Yeah.
So a lot of rejection is because they cannot come
Relate to
up
that.
higher.
Absolutely.
So they rather back up.
up.
That's like the easiest way out. So if you're being rejected, check your fruits.
Yeah.
To see most people cannot come up higher.
Yeah.
So they will reject you. And
I
that's
guess
really okay.
we need to start getting comfortable with people not liking
Rejection.
us. You need to.
Honestly,
Actually, if
we give
everybody
you pulpit
likes you, if everybody likes you, there's a problem.
there's an issue. You're a people's pleaser.
There's a
Yeah.
huge
There's a
problem.
You're
Yeah.
a people's pleaser.
Yeah, because you're
If
always doing
everybody
what
likes
they
you
like.
and if everybody hates you, both ways,
There's an issue.
there's an issue.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There has to be a balance where you
Yeah.
have your people
Yeah.
no,
who
you
get
have
you.
to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And the people who just can't stand you and it's fine.
It's fine.
Absolutely. But
It's
once you
fine.
do the work, you
Yep.
are going to find other people who are doing the work, right? Like, we haven't known each other for years.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we met, right?
Yeah.
Mimi, we met, and then I
Yes.
met Naana. It's like you will always meet people on a certain type of journey once you're doing the work.
Exactly.
If you don't even start the work, you can't even meet those people. There are people right now who, they don't even know what a person of integrity looks like
No.
because they don't have integrity.
So they always somehow and sometimes for the benefit of those who don't believe in God, and by the way, I'm not condoning that, but I'm just saying that for the benefit of
Right.
those who don't, you want to say that the universe kind of connects you
It's a principle. It's a
It's a
universal
universal principle.
I don't care what
Once
you
you're
are.
doing what
Absolutely.
we're doing it. Again, that's why a lot of religions say that if you look at the many religions we have in the world, one of the things that is constant in all of these religions is love.
Yeah.
It's a
Absolutely.
common commodity amongst all of these
Absolutely.
It's
religions.
energy. It's
Yeah.
all energies. You will be
So once you're
connected to
doing
your
the right
energies.
thing, you'll be connecting with your people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So there are people who just don't know how to respect other people's boundaries.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Because they don't have boundaries.
They don't know how to do. You create the boundaries as big as they can. You can communicate it as well as you can. They still will act out of character. How do you deal with such people?
Cut them off.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have
It
no
wasn't
respect
even
for
that. It
themselves.
wasn't even that difficult.
Cut them off.
Just cut them off.
Absolutely. No, if you don't have respect for yourself,
Yeah.
you
Who will treat
can't
you
have
anyhow.
boundaries for yourself. So then if you tell me that you have boundaries, I'm going to have an issue with it. Because I don't remember, if people can't respect themselves and have, again, you must know who you are, fall in love with yourself, be confident, have integrity to even have boundaries. So it requires so much. So
right.
these things, if people don't have it, how do you expect them to respect your boundaries? They don't have self-respect, so they can't respect you.
So,
you know,
so,
lately I've been paying attention to how people treat me. And sometimes when, there are times that when we say, oh, certain things are your fault, we put it in a bad light. Like when you say, okay, this person did this thing because of how I am. Sometimes it's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that to myself all the time.
Yeah, and
now
it's
people are
not-
telling
it's
me to
not-
stop punishing
It's not
myself.
so that I will. Yeah, but you need to stop punishing yourself. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your fault because of it's because of how you are presenting yourself.
Yeah.
I remember when friends would call me to an event, especially when I wasn't very strong. And again, I know it's not all viewers that are Christians, but when I wasn't a strong Christian, my friends would call me to any event. And sometimes when I really got to know God, I used to wonder, no one would call me for certain programs anymore. Like they wouldn't even want me to be there because of what would go on there. They were like, nah, if we call Evelyn, she's probably not. This is not going to be fun.
Right, right.
Now, I just said that as an example because there's a previous me and there's a me now.
Right.
Of where I could go to before now, where you wouldn't find me there.
Right, absolutely.
Right. I don't want to be in that setting. But now my friends can tell I wouldn't be in that setting, so they wouldn't call me. Those that knew me before, they wouldn't call me.
Right.
Right. Now I'm just using that as an example. There are ways that people are okay treating you or bringing you into a particular situation because they know you are okay with it. And there are situations that people will never treat you in that way because they can't do it to you, but they can do it to someone else.
To someone else.
Because they're ready
That's
to
it.
do anyway.
They're
ready to do.
Yeah, so it is good that you do blame yourself sometimes for the way people react to you or behave with you because you are setting a pace or
absolutely.
you're charting a course or paving a way and they are reading the lines. They are looking.
can tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can tell.
People can tell. Oh, yeah. Like she said.
They can tell.
The things that people do to you are not ever to do to the next
sorry
next
not to cut you off.
person.
I have actually apologized to a guy for touching me inappropriately before. Touching me inappropriately. And ask me why. Because whenever I've been around that person, he has been doing that to other people and they were okay. And so the next time I met him, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, the other day you did this and I didn't even tell you, but that can't happen anymore. You cannot do that. I'm not comfortable with that. And he's like, oh, okay. And that's it.
And
And
best believe
sometimes
he's never going to do that.
No,
But he
it
hasn't
never
changed.
happened. No,
But he
he's not
hasn't
changed.
changed. But he
you
won't do it to you.
Especially in Ghana, I always tell Ghanaian men, if you go outside, they will put you in prison
Yeah,
for
you
certain
go
things.
straight
because
to jail.
We do
A
things.
lot of Nigerian
No,
men
like
go
because
to jail.
we are so free and open with women.
Nigerian men
And
are like,
it's okay.
what are we doing here with mouth?
And Ghanaian men can be so nice. Like we are so nice and open. You can laugh and touch you. And by mistake, your hands would touch
my
the
boobs.
boob, and it's nothing. Or somebody can be walking, they'll laugh.
She's laughing at how I randomly were talking about Ghanaian
I know, I was like,
And
okay.
then
Ended up on Nigeria.
I was like, okay.
to me again. I love them. I love Nigerian men. Oh.
You know, and I know it's all fun and games until it's not. Yeah. And so I'm just saying, like, even I know a lot of this I'm saying is going to women, but even men, you should be careful because once you change culture and you go into a different setting, you can get in trouble.
Absolutely.
So set boundaries for yourself as a man if you're watching this.
Exactly.
And keep yourself and keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And respect the women.
Yeah.
No,
because in another setting, you'll be in jail.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
And you can't explain yourself that, oh, where I am, this is fine. No.
Yeah.
The fact that we didn't complain doesn't mean it was
and that's
okay.
why I'm saying I had to apologize because I didn't say anything to you, so you think it's okay. But now you know. Now you know.
But that's the thing with women.
Now
a
you
lot
know.
of things go on because of silence.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
But why is silence happening?
Yeah.
We don't know ourselves.
Yeah. There are people who've even been raped. I'm sorry if this is triggering you, but they wouldn't say, did you say no? They didn't literally say no.
They didn't say no.
sat stoic.
Because they've never been taught. It's okay to say no. Even to family members.
So these boundaries things that we were talking about, it goes deeper than we were
It's
saying.
deep.
I think that if we have the opportunity, we'll do a part
It's
2 of
deep.
this.
Yeah.
But I know
It
that
goes
if
deeper.
you really want to know more, there are a few pages on social media I can suggest
Yeah.
that you go and follow to learn these things. I know
Yeah.
you both don't do these things on your social media platforms, like you preaching about these things. But if you want to do it,
Yeah. If people want to send us DMs, we're happy.
Please send them DMs. Kukua.
Yes, it's my Instagram is KUUK SSS.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And yours?
Mine is Minister Naana.
Minister Naana. She's a Minister Naana.
Just that.
Okay.
Minister Naana.
Minister Naana. I also will. What's this pastor's name? Okay. Joshua Selman is
Yes.
one. This other guy, and I was watching him just yesterday fixing. Please, I'll share. Come to my DM. I'll share it with you.
Yes,
But
yes.
I'm listening to these people, and I'm realizing that. And you said this earlier, and I said, yeah, you're spot on. Some men, or most men, have boundaries,
Oh, yeah.
and they have healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
You cannot call me at this time. Why are you
Yeah.
calling me so much?
Yeah.
Wakacho, so you
Yeah.
cannot call
And
me
they'll
too
tell their
much.
girlfriend, don't call
Yeah.
me too much.
Yeah.
And they like you. That's the thing. And men can love you and have
still
boundaries.
have boundaries.
And he will stand on it.
Yeah.
and you will adhere to it. How are you not going to do it? But how is it that it's so difficult? And this is why it was important for us to have this conversation, because it's so difficult for us to build healthy boundaries and not feel guilty about it. Now there are times that I would say that, listen, I want to tell this person I don't like this, but how am I going to say it to her? They don't think that. And so I have to score him. I have to leave it.
No.
Can you imagine? And think about how we're hurt about when men have boundaries. Like you said, he said, you can't call me after 11 p.m. because I have to have this
kind of meeting.
The fact that we're hurt is because women usually don't have boundaries.
You don't have one of your
So
own.
when we meet a man with boundaries, we're hurt. We can't take it.
Like, why are you doing this? If you love me, you would give me, because me, when
call me
in love
morning,
with you, I'll give it all to you.
Or a man will say, you can't raise your voice at me like that.
And then immediately you're like, oh.
But can you tell him back, well, neither can you.
Neither can you. Well, today you're going to say it. Okay, you're going to learn to say it.
Yes.
You're going to learn to tell people that I am young.
Respectfully.
And respect me. But I'm not going to be disrespectful about telling you to respect me.
Exactly.
And knows also that to be respected, and these ladies have taught us that for you to be respected, you need to show up a certain way. They can do that disrespect to someone else, but they cannot do it to you.
That's right.
You are worth every item of respect.
Yes.
You are worth the love. You are worth it all.
Absolutely.
And so learn to put yourself in that space that you're getting all that you could potentially give, and not struggle with it. Boundaries are not walls. It's what we were talking right here about on the dish. I hope you have learned a thing or two. But what I've told you earlier is that, listen, connect with these ladies. If you want to learn more, you can just slide into their DMs and say, there was this part that you touched. Can you make it louder so that I will learn? Anchor it, and hopefully we're able to come here with part 2 of this one. But my name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. Before we leave, did you know that all the 41 LPG companies and 800 stations across the country are 100% built and operated by indigenous Ghanaians? When you refill your cylinder with us, you support the growth of indigenous businesses and create more jobs. But that's not the only reason for you to choose us. Our LPG distribution system offers unbeatable value, allowing you to buy any amount of the products in whichever quantities you need, making it incredibly pocket-friendly. Worried about being cheated? With us, you can watch Feely Feely as your cylinder gets filled. Plus, we have weighing scales at every station, so you can double check whether the weight of the quantity filled is accurate. Well, trust trust guarantee. Switch to LPG for your car, especially if you drive a taxi. It's more environmentally friendly, helping protect our precious ecosystem. Go green with LPG and make a difference. Remember, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. Refill your LPG cylinder at your nearest gas station and help save our precious forests and environment. Let's protect Ghana for this generation and the next. LPG Marketing Association of Ghana, your affordable, pocket-friendly, trustworthy, and eco-friendly choice. Ladies, I've had the best show yet. And I'm so excited that I had you come through and say big thank you
so much
to
for having us.
ladies. I think we should do a part 2.
Yes.
Big thank you. I'm going to have to negotiate with my producer.
I agree.
A big thank you to Deco Zone. They always show up for us. They've given us this beautiful set. But what you don't know is that they can turn that house into a home for you. They can turn into a beautiful space for you. A big thank you to Cowbell Coffee Club Shandi and LPG. And of course, my people at Tango Washing Powder. And yes, you who keeps joining me right here on the show. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. See you again next Monday.